Welcome everybody to another edition of the WCW 2005 here in TEW 2020 as it's time for the go-home shows for Halloween Havoc. Sorry for the slight delay in this stuff. Basically, end of last week, got a little, just lost a little bit of time. But hey, in the long run, a lot of people won't even realize this as they're watching afterward, but hey, just so people know. Anyway, we're off to Nitro, so let's get rolling with the show live from Tacoma, Washington. And we start out with a big old angle, which basically, sets up a big match for basically the end of the show. As first out comes your WCW World Champion, Chuck Palumbo, who basically says, last week, Goldberg, you tried to take me out because you know deep down that you can't defeat me, that you're not the man anymore. I'm the man, alongside my old lady, Raven Rain. We're going to prove it at Halloween Havoc. And Goldberg does not come out. Instead, the truth comes out, and he cuts around basically saying, Mike Awesome, he wants him in the ring tonight, and he doesn't care about you, Palumbo, because he's still the U.S. champion, and he can kick your ass too. So they face off, and that leads to Kanyon coming out and says, based around him, nobody's better than Kanyon, and Don Frye, I want you in that ring to prove yourself before Havoc that nobody's better than Kanyon, and you're gonna get your ass kicked without a question. And that leads to Randy Savage come out and say, oh yeah, you want to face Don Frye in that ring? Well, any of these men will he'll be happy to kick any of the asses of these men in this ring. Even you, Palumbo. Palumbo fires back, look, watch you say. And then out comes Eddy Guerrero, who reminds everybody, at Halloween Havoc, he's going to finally bust the myth of Sean O'Hare. And after that, he's going to rise to the top of his business no matter who gets in his way. And grow family values, and before he finished that, out comes his brother Ray, who says for the last couple of weeks he's had to deal with Jeff Jarrett, claiming just because he fought some brawls in Memphis that he's a true king of hardcore and he knows how to battle in a cage. Brother Ray battled in the streets, battled on Extreme, went through fiery tables. And so if he wants a little reminder of what's going to happen in 6 days at Halloween Havoc, come on out. That leads Jeff Jarrett come out and say, Slapnuts, I don't care what bingo hall brawls you've been in. You've never been in a real fight. You never brawl over a concession stand. You never fought in front of thousands of people who wanted to kill you. That's what growing up in wrestling in the South means. So they continue to fire back, and it's about the brawl when Goldberg hits, and then things really break down, and there's a big old argument, and there's a big brawl. The officials break it up, and then after the commercial, the officials the announcers put over, it's going to be a huge 10-man tag for the main event of Nitro. It's Goldberg, Brother Ray, Kanyon, The Truth, and the last guy I'm blanking on, and Sean O'Hare taking on Jeff Jarrett, Don Frye, Eddy Guerrero. Jeff Jarrett, Don Frye, Eddy Guerrero, Mike Awesome, and WCW World Champion combo in a huge 10-man tag. So this gets a 97, because I basically rated all the people who are, actually, good at promo guys. Good stuff. And then, this is just basically the announcers putting over the big main event. And then we go to our opening match, which is the official Nitro debut of a new team, Jim Tan Wrestling. Like I went over last week, they're a Jersey Shore ripoff, but it's a somewhat, good, well-timed Jersey Shore ripoff. And, they're baby faces because, Romeo been turned on. And, it's a back and forth match here as they take on Osei and Skipper. But in the end, Romeo and Santarelli get the win with the GTW, whatever that's called, as I forgot to give it a pinfall, so this is submitted. But he got the GTW, which I'll look into their finish and see if there's something they can do together. But this gets a 59. Perfectly solid win. Skipper gets a 58, Osei gets a 59, Romeo gets a 56, Tony gets a 46. And we don't get the pre-match, Malice, so that's positive. But then, post-match, Osei and Skipper leave the ring, and Tony Santarelli takes the mic and says, my man, Romeo, has something to say. And Romeo says, for the past couple weeks, I've been reminding myself of where I really come from. I'm not a gladiator, I'm not a Roman, I'm a kid from Jersey who loves to wrestle, who loves to fight, loves to party, and knows what I need to do. So, Reckless Roberts, I'm calling you and your sister out for a chance at the Cruiserweight Championship. Reckless and, Tracy come out, and, basically Tracy's like, why the hell you think you deserve a championship. You've got a couple wins. Now you're teaming with your jackass of a buddy here. Why would I give you a title shot? No, you have to earn this title shot. And right now, nobody has earned a title shot against my brother, the best cruiserweight in business today. Eric Bischoff comes in and says, well, I don't think that's true. See, Halloween Havoc needs a cruiserweight title match. So, Romeo, you have proven yourself. And more importantly, you're stepping up. So, Romeo Rossi, you are getting the title shot against Reckless Roberts at Halloween Havoc. So, there you go. So, that sort of makes this match official. Yeah, I don't know if you would have called it, ever, but Reckless Youth versus Kid Romeo is for the Cruiserweight title at Halloween Havoc 2005. This is a very different world. And this gets a 50 just because these guys aren't super over, and, it is what it is. But still fun stuff. And then we cut backstage where Dawn Marie walks up to Toland and Lepin, and she's basically, because they've been having some struggles the past couple weeks, months, not having the best run of matches, and there's been some more tension, and Dawn's like, look, I talked to Bischoff, and I got you guys a big match for tonight. And, Toland and Lepin, great. Who are the sexiest man in wrestling and the biggest international star in the business of fighting? Dawn's, well, about that, and in comes Shane Helms and Titus Tomko. And Tank's like, hey man, why are you in here? And Shane's like, well, maybe your manager hasn't explained this to you, but tonight we're teaming up in a way. And Lepin says, Dawn, what's going on? And she explains, well, Bischoff wanted this fun way to set up a triple threat tag match. So tonight, Tank, you're teaming with Tomko, big guy, tough guy, he can do it, to take on one member of Evolution and one member of Heart Legacy, and whoever gets pinned, they get eliminated, and then the 3 teams left over fight in a triple threat at Halloween Havoc for a future tag title shot. And Toland steps and says, so wait, I'm not with my partner who I've wrestled dozens and dozens and hundreds of matches with. I'm with that big lunk? Helm steps and says, look, that big lunk has rescued presidents, prime ministers, and world leaders. What have you done? Walk around in a Chippendales outfit? You put respect on a man who's with the greatest U.S. champion of all time. And there's a little bickering when Dahmer says, look, guys, this is what you need to do. Yeah, we haven't had the best run of luck, but this is what we need to prove ourselves. And look, it's Flair's lackeys and those 2 dorks from Canada. We can do this. Everybody agrees, and we got a tag match later on as this gets a 68. And then we have a bit of a tag title setup here, as of course, Yang has been teaming with Kaz for the past few months, and they risen to the top and have a tag title shot at Halloween Havoc. But, Yang has been getting better, but Matt Hardy is Matt Hardy. And I forgot to change the booking where he gets the win cleanly, and that's fine. And here's the thing. Yang is good. He is rising quickly. But Matt Hardy is the former World Tag Team Champion, and has been Tag Champion multiple times, and he's a great wrestler. And this is what happens here. As, Yang is very good. But Yang is just a little bit Hardy's just a little bit better. Needless twist of fate, and gets a pinfall victory in a little over 9 minutes. This gets a 77. Yang gets a 62. Matt Hardy gets a 74. But of course, just as basically as soon as the 3 count comes in comes Kaz. Kick of death to Matt Hardy. Yang goes up top. Yang time. Stacey comes in. Hails her, men as it's spread over. Jeff Hardy wasn't able to come in quick enough for the save. But it's going to be a 2-on-2 big tag team title match at Halloween Havoc as this gets a 69. Nice. And then we cut backstage where the chosen few are, basically walk into the heel locker room where Mike Awesome and, Don Frye are, sparring with some jobbers, Randy Savage there, pumping him up. And there's a bit of tension as Jarrett's like, Slapnuts, explain to me why shouldn't I just try to talk to Bischoff and get my men in here instead of you? And Savage steps and says, oh, Jarrett, you're an SOB, and you've always been an SOB. But deep down, these 2 men are 2 of the toughest in the world, and they go to war with you tonight. It'll have to be afterwards. But tonight, ooh yeah, they're the cream of the crop. And Awesome just steps up to Jarrett and says, I'll kick your ass right now, no problem. I'll also bomb you right off the stick, right into that wall. Jarrett's like, listen up. I'll team with you tonight, but I'd rather have my man, Magnificent Mark Jindrak, Super Johnny Divine, future tag champs, future US champs, future world champs, because they are the chosen few. But tonight, we'll team up, and it's worth what we're going to get to do. A little preview of the beating Brother Ray is going to get. There's some tension, but the heels have managed to get along, I guess, for now, as this gets an 82. Fun stuff. Alright, and then we're backstage as Jeremy Barash is with Alex Wright. And, Barash basically acts right about, facing Tajiri one-on-one at Havoc. And, says, is he ready for a tough match against Tajiri? And Wright says, Barash, you have it all wrong. This isn't a tough match for Das Wunderbar, the greatest wrestler in the business today. Just like what I did to Chavo and Tajiri a few weeks ago wasn't any sort of big change. It was a moment that I needed to do, that I've thought about for weeks, months, or even longer. You see, great wrestlers who are at the top of the game like me don't do things out of nowhere. We evolve, we adapt, we get better. And Barash was like, you just turned your back on it, and you won tag titles with, and one of the best wrestlers in the business today. And Wright fires back, you're right. We were great. But Chavo was not great anymore. He was falling down and down and down. And Tajiri, well, what has he ever done in this company? Won TV title, he was, challenged for the US title, but he's never been Das Wunderbar like me. So you think it's not going to be tough at all, at Halloween Havoc? I'm not saying Tajiri's a walkover, but he's not as good as me. He's going to be find out when he face off against Das Wunderbar, Alex Wright. It's going to be a lesson for Tajiri, a lesson for Chavo at home, all taped up and injured. Never underestimate someone like me. When it's all said and done, I'm going to remind everybody why I should be at the top of this business and why I've wasted my time. And it'll be no question of how great I am. Halloween Havoc is going to be a statement. Take some notes. And then Wright walks away. 80 solid promo, sort of building up, his heel character, and putting over his big match with Tajiri, which have I actually put in there? No, I have not. See, this is why you double check things, folks. All right, so this gets an 80 as we move forward. Which, okay, so a little, oh boy. That looks not great. Anyway, so, again, some backstage booking thing. This was originally going to be an 8-man match, but the person who's going to be the final member of the Nest in War Games got dinged for being high showing up, so I'm either going to have to double think if he's going to be the fourth guy, or just bring him in and hope he isn't that guy again at Havoc. It's a guy connected to Raven. I'm sure you can figure it out if you think about it for a second. But regardless, this match is chaos. This is destruction. This is the referee calling a match after only a few minutes. Morningstar does Morningstar stuff. He flies around, Rothschild and Killswitch brawl. Kai Graves is there at ringside getting involved, and he sees his brawling, hitting chokeslams. Prophet is fighting. Raven is, bringing in kendo sticks, and eventually the ref just throw things out. It gets a 70 as it only goes 7 minutes. Prophet gets a 46. Macias gets an 80. Raven gets a 72. Killswitch gets a 69. Nice. Rothschild gets a 62. And Morningstar gets a 94. And as the battle continues, eventually Eric Bischoff comes out to the top of the ramp as the officials break everything apart. And he says, just stop. Just stop for a damn second. Now, for months and months, this BS has got on. And honestly, I've let most of it go because it's drawn ratings. It's been interesting. And I thought once War Games announced, that was going to be that. But you're still this. And I realize War Games not even be enough to handle you guys. Whoever you bring in, Raven. Because you think this is your war zone. You think you're above the law because of some talk about messages or profits or whatever. No. This stops at Havoc with War Games. You know the stipulations. Whoever wins, the losers must kneel or leave WCW. there's something a little bit more I need to do. How do I keep both of you factions who are no angels in check? I realized there was only one man who has faced many of you in battle, who has faced many of you in warfare, and he knows how to deal with guys like you. And then Seek and Destroy hits to a big pop, and for the first time on TV since Starrcade last year, Sting is here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Sting comes out, like he got a cameo here as this gets a 77. And if you notice, this is Real Estate Steve. Very good. Okay, not bad. So like that whole Bischoff's whole promo plus Sting coming out gets a 77. And then Sting, like, you know, he plays with the crowd and he walks down into the ring. As he slides in, you know, he basically, you know, as officials are still there, you know, keeping everybody apart, he takes the mic from Bischoff and he says, well, these are sure some memories. You see, nearly 10 months ago at Starrcade, me and Ric Flair, we lost to two of you guys. See, as Morningstar, I'll be honest, you kicked our ass. And I'm fine with that. And I walked away because I realized if I couldn't be at the very tip top, if I couldn't be at the top of this business, I had to walk away. I didn't want to be a shell of myself. But as I watched, as you guys fought, broke up, your leader disappeared, you continued to fight, and then you, as Points Raven, you showed up and caused more chaos, I realized things were rising up to a tension boiling point, wasn't it, boys? And so when Bischoff called me, I said yes immediately, because I realized it was time for the Stinger to return, to get back in that ring, and does what he does best. Walk in there with a big black bag and take control of things. Morningstar, you're right, we've battled in the past. You got a real knack for trying to destroy things, but I'm still here. And Macias, hey, you're with Raven now. Doesn't mean you're on my side either. So get out of line, and I'll step to you once again. I haven't forgotten about us for one moment. And then he turns to Raven and says, Raven, well, you've been here before, you'll be here again. In all your personalities, in all your ways. You're not hanging around an overgrown, lost, palatial estate anymore, are you? You got your friends, you got your followers. But here's the thing, Raven. You're playing a game. You're battling against the great evil, so the fans are behind you. But, brother, you get in, you try to do anything more, and I'll take you out just like that. And Macy steps up and Ravensworth stops him. And he says, and then Sting continues, in 6 days, it's going to be showtime, folks. War Games will settle this once and for all, and I'm going to be in that ring, making sure there's a final ending to this conflict. Fight with everything you got, battle, go to war, bleed, destroy each other. But don't get in my way, because remember one thing. I've been known to carry a black bat, and I'm not afraid to use it. No tricks, no deceptions, just the end of this all. There's going to be a reckoning for one of these sides. I'm going to be there to make sure it happens. And then Sting does his woo, and there we go. As the announcers put over huge, it's going to be War Games with Sting as a special referee. This gets an 82 because Sting's been gone for a while, and yeah, everybody's here. But there you go. Big thing. Big time stuff. And then we cut backstage, and this is sort of like your pretty basic, like, you know, baby faces getting over promo, as Sean O'Hare, Truth is like trying, like, go for a rap, and O'Hare confronts him and says, "Come on, don't rap. You gotta be focused on tonight, putting a statement out." and proving we're the future Shock. Kicking ass, taking names, that's what we need to do. And Brother Ray's like, yeah, take the war to these guys. And Drew's like, I'm ready to fight, but come on, gotta have a little fun. And then we see Goldberg walk in and does his, like, his headbutt into the locker and walk away. At least and Truth says something funny like, at least you aren't like him. And this gets an 83, so fun little babyface segment as we move forward. To a quick promo as Borash catches with the Hardys, and he basically, asks him about, the tag title match against Ninkyo, and the Hardys say, we faced a lot of tough opponents before. Here and other places, but Yang, Kaz, they're going to be two of the toughest. Not just because they're great wrestlers, because got Stacey Keeler behind them, but with the fan support and with our own talents. It's going to be a dark day for Ninkyo, because after Halloween Havoc, we'll still be the world tag team champions. 78, solid promo, with Jeff and Matt Hardy, not exactly masters of the mic, so there you go. And then we cut backstage, where, Chuck Palumbo is talking to Raven Reign, saying, ready for tonight? Raven's rubbing his shoulders, and then in walks Eddy Guerrero, and Palumbo says, hey, good to see you, ready for tonight, Eddie? It's a big one, big old 10-man main event, and we get to kick some ass before Havoc. And he's like, hey, you don't have to tell me twice. Tonight is about a statement before Havoc. I'm always like, right, look, I got Palumbo, and yeah, he's a wrecking machine, but I'm that much more of a wrecking machine. And tonight, we're going to send a message loud and clear. Nobody messes with the WCW World Champion. Goldberg's a tough bastard, but I got a hair, and all sorts of battles with him. Palumbo says, yeah, that's right. He's tough, but, I'm the main event for a reason. And he sort of says, well, you're the main event for now. After all. After Halloween Havoc? Who knows, I say? Maybe Royal Family Values means it's time for me to take that belt back and put it around my waist. The Raza and all that stuff. And Palumbo turns back to him and says, look, Eddie, you're a great wrestler, but I didn't claw my way to the top to take this title, to lose it now. Not to Goldberg, not to anyone, not even you. Tonight, let's kick some ass, but after that, well, you're just another enemy. Eddie is still Eddie. He says, Holmes, you're right. Tonight, we're teaming together, along with Awesome, along with Jarrett, along with Frye. But just remember, if you beat Goldberg, I'm still here. And he walks away, and, Palumbo sort of fires daggers at him, and Raven Reign says, don't worry about him. Focus on the task at hand, and then we'll go on to our other enemies. So fun stuff. This gets an 86. Eddie and Palumbo rolled badly, doing dialogue, but fun stuff as we move forward. To our big fun little tag title match, which actually gets a lot better than I expected, because, there's no bonus for Tank. But, this is a back and forth tag match. It's two teams who, have never teamed together, as Teddy Hart and Claudio of Evolution. Heart of Heart Legacy. It's back and forth tag. Tank Titus gets his power spots in. Tank, gets his, US Pro Star spots. Claudio throws folks around. Teddy flies around. But eventually, Don Marie tries to get involved. And that's just distracting enough for Claudio to actually get the pinfall victory over Toland, eliminating Toland and Le Pen, and making the triple threat match at Halloween Havoc, Evolution versus Hart Legacy versus Helms and Tomko. And this gets a 76. Toland gets a 66. Tomko gets a 53. Cesaro gets a 65. Teddy gets a 76. And, basically, so I'll book in that match first. So, yeah. Legacy. Tank. Pen. And Shane Helm. Fun stuff. And then post-match, Dawn, Tank, and Ray LePen all argue before eventually, like Tank and LePen just walk away, leaving Dawn Marie in the ring all by herself as this gets a 61. Get our Revolution recap focusing on the main event of AJ in London versus Monty Brown and RVD, which gets 70, and it's time for, I believe, for our main event. So, oof. Oh no, Don Frye died. Okay, I guess that match is done for the pay-per-view, unfortunately. I'm just double checking some. Okay, so this got a 79. Don Frye got injured. Let's see, was there anything else that hurt it? Okay, disrupted by injury, inexperience, poor gimmick. Okay, this stuff is all fine. Yeah, okay, so, I guess it happened right at the finish, so it wasn't really disrupted by injury. But okay, so this is like sort of like your classic big time main event, like 10-man tag. Sort of like everybody who's facing off gets their little spots, but also like some other spots involving people who could be facing off. So, Palumbo and Hair fight a bit. The Truth and, Jarrett have a little bit of a battle. Awesome, tries to throw around Kanyon again. Brother Ray fights with Awesome. Eddy and Goldberg, turn back on their feud from the past couple months. But eventually things break apart, and it's a big old 10-man war, and Kanyon slips in, hits a cannon cutter, Goldberg hits a spear and jackhammer on Don Frye, and picks up the victory here, where his spinal disc gets hurt. This gets a 79, Truth gets an 84, O'Haire gets a 76, Kenny gets a 94, Brother Ray gets an 85, Goldberg gets a 92, Awesome gets a 90, Eddy gets a 91, Don Frye gets a 69, Palumbo gets an 85, Palumbo gets an 86. So 7, 12, 26, 37, 50, 56, 56, 71, 68, 73, 63, divide by 10. So yeah, this should have been like an 84 and 85 before the injury. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, I know. I mean, okay. So Frye rolls out the outside, injured as hell. And basically this... Oh, shit. I keep on... That's Raven Reign, not Raven. Again, this is where I understand Vince McMahon and why I want people with different names. But anyway, as you expect, Palumbo immediately comes in and goes after Goldberg and goes for the full throttle. But Goldberg blocks it. Actually, then, throws him away. Nails a spear, goes for the jackhammer. Raven Reign gets involved, sort of jumps on Goldberg's back. Goldberg tosses her off, of that allows Palumbo to take advantage. And then, Palumbo tries for the full throttle again. Goldberg blocks it, throws him into the ropes. Big spear, goes up for the jackhammer again. But WCW officials, sort of flow in, break everybody apart, and the announcers put over Goldberg, Palumbo, Havoc, world title, as it gets an 84. And overall, the show itself gets us an 85. Okay. So not the worst show, but not the best show ever. So yeah. This was an interesting show as far as injuries go, wasn't it? Yeah. Again, that 6-man was supposed to, yeah. So another thing is I originally booked this, then had a computer issue, so I had to rebook everything, which is why the whole thing with the injury happened. So yeah, sort of unhappy with my computer at the moment because they probably kind of caused the injury when the rerolls for the injuries was done because I didn't actually ever start the show. Anyway, so okay, sure. Okay, Mark Money gone from Okay, none. Okay, Jesus. Don Frye is gone for a year. Okay, wow. That is kind of insane. Yeah, I mean, Killswitch is fine, and plus, he'll be okay. Okay, so Don Frye his contract is only for another year. So even if he comes back, he'll basically just be back for the Starrcade run. You know something? Let's risk it. Worst case, he's gone, and then I can just... Hurrah. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. I mean, he's still going to miss Starcade, which sucks, because he was sort of... I mean, he was not part of a huge main event. But yeah, wow. Alright. Yeah, alright. Who's unhappy? Let's see here. Brother Ray, why are you irritated? Oh, right, because I didn't hear. I'm actually going to give you some money to make you happy. Because you should not be upset over, like, not being allowed to. Yeah, alright. Ravens morale issues. Let's see here. Why are you annoyed? You are annoyed. I mean, yeah, it's a minor injury, so... just so you're not unhappy because of the pay-per-view. Here, there you go. Everybody else, and there's part of a spoiler, but you sort of figure this out. And I might honestly think about bringing somebody else in. But I'm also not going to go over Nitro because go over Raw because there is a spoiler for the pay-per-view, which I'll go over after Revolution when I go over the whole week of stuff. So if you want to know what happened at No Mercy, wait a couple minutes. But hey, Loki signed CM. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, right, because he's been with Tormund forever. Because, like, yeah, again, Loki's like a star in Mexico. He's also injured for months, probably, which is also interesting. But yeah, that is unfortunate. Like, it really sucks. Anyway, I'll be back in just a second with Revolution. And we are live with Revolution from the beautiful Sleep Train Arena in Sacramento, California. And the show starts out with your world champion Chuck Palumbo coming down to the ring as, the announcers put over the big pay-per-view match at Halloween Havoc against Bill Goldberg. And Palumbo takes the mic and says, "Now, some of you may be thinking I'm coming out here to let you know that this might be my last night on Revolution as a WCW World Champion. But let's be honest, even you morons in Sacramento know that's not true. You know, the man is going to be Chuck Palumbo. Along with my old lady, we're going to walk in the World Champion, and I'm going to walk out the World Champion." Yeah. On Nitro, you might have seen Goldberg get a couple shots at me. But let's be honest, there's chaos. And that's not going to happen again. Now, cue some interesting music as The Truth and Ken Anderson comes out. And The Truth does a rap, like basically making fun of Palumbo, saying, he's going to his ass kicked at Revolution. And Palumbo's like, "Why the hell are you two out here?" Anderson's like, "Well, you see, the truth is, yeah, Palumbo, you're world champion. You're a top guy. But I'm kind of an asshole. And me and Truth remind you that you're not the only champion, so we can go from show to show. And we're here to say, if you want to tune up before Havoc, if you want to really prove yourself to be the top guy, why don't you take on two other top guys like us?" I was like, why the hell should I do that a few days before Havoc? And Truth basically does a rap, basically, calling him out. And I was like, fine, let's do this. And then cue Monty Brown attacking both men from behind. And the match is on, and this gets a 94. And then we have go right into the tag match, which gets us an 83. Okay, let's see here. Anderson's still not that good in the ring. Truth is okay. And yeah, sort of like and also this only goes 13 minutes. So this is just a battle of like four guys. Like, the match really never settles into like an actual groove of like a normal tag match. Like, it's Monty Brown throwing people, Truth brawling, Anderson hitting his big moves, but eventually things break down. Like, Anderson actually gets Brown into the hits into the rolling forward slam and goes for the pinfall, but Palumbo comes at the last second, makes a save, and as things break down and Monty and Kenner are actually brawling on the ringside area, Lance Storm slides in and nails the Truth with a super kick. As the announcers put over, he's hitting a shot in for his, we're guessing still part of the Triumvirate Mike Awesome, who's getting a shot at Truth at Halloween Havoc, and Palumbo, boom, full throttle, gets pinfall on the U.S. champion. This gets an 83. Again, if I would have put it over for 17, 18 minutes, may have been a little better. Monty Brown gets an 81, Palumbo gets an 85, Anderson gets a 74, and Truth gets an 80. As then, the announcers, as Truth celebrates, the Truth, sort of recovers and then goes heading to the back, chasing after Lance Storm. We then, get a big profit for our big actual main event tonight, which is AJ Styles versus Shelton Benjamin versus Rob Van Dam versus Keen Sharp in a four-way match as Teddy Long wants the best competitors in the ring to battle to see who's truly the best. is this called there's a long time between shows for Revolution, and this is just a match to have a good match? Maybe, but hey, we're moving forward storylines, you know? This is another, Shelton gets another big shot despite losing. Our AJ's still a call shot winner. RVD's, this new RVD character, and Keenan Sharp is, well, Keenan Sharp. And then we have a very fun segment as, again, continuing maybe storyline only I'm enjoying, but hey, I'm enjoying it, so who cares? As Amy Weber is backstage and she's talking to Cash, and she's basically saying, okay, ready for this interview? What are you even doing tonight? Cash is like, well, here's the thing, babe. There's no interview tonight, but I've seen you hang out with AMW and those other losers, and look, I didn't know you're single and ready to rumble, ready to mingle. So why don't you deal with somebody who's money, who's real cash, not some loser like those cowboys? And Amy's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I just went out and had a good time with them. And Cash's like, no. That boy Trevor, he's lovelorn. That weirdo, and I want you to be with a real man. And then we see Trevor Slater slips in, and he says, look, the lady said she doesn't care about you, so just walk away. And, Trust, here comes your knight in shining armor, or I guess your knight in blue jeans and flannel with some tobacco stains. And Casper Snickers says, come on, really, Amy? This is the guy? And Amy's like, at least he respects me. Cash is like, fine. I'll beat some respect into you just later tonight. You get in that ring. Slater's like, okay, reckon I weren't going to kick your ass. And, Cash then looks over Amy. But when he's down on the mat, laid out, this is your fault, Amy. And then there we go. As Trevor, sort of tips his hat again and walks away. And we have a match later for tonight. This gets a 51 because, well, look at these people. I mean, again, this is goofy, but I'm allowed one goofy angle per show. And then we cut backstage as the Truth is chasing Storm backstage, and then Kidman gets involved and has a 2-on-1 attack. But then Booker and Shelton runs in, and it's a big old brawl as, Booker, Kidman and Storm, step back and says, did you really think we were going to let our guy, Awesome, not gain an advantage into Havoc? He's going to kick your ass. He's going to take your US title. And there's nothing you can do about it. And Shelton goes up to, go to a fight. But Booker steps back and says, Seka, we got a big match later tonight. Truth is fine. He's a big boy. He can handle himself. And don't worry, we'll kick their ass later. So there you go. That little storyline between Booker Shelton and Kidman and Storm continues. Truth gets his shot. And big US title match, of course, at Havoc. As this gets an 88. Fun stuff. And then we have our big 6-woman match as Lizzie Dumas and Lexi James of Captivation has brought in Desiree Dawkins as their partner tonight against Angel Fox and the WCW Women's World Tag Team Champions social scene. And this is a very solid match. Again, they've been in developmental for a long time. They have gotten very good in ring, much better than most of them actually were in real life outside of maybe Mickie James. So this is a very solid, talented 6-woman match, back and forth. Everybody gets their spots in. Of course, the tag champs try to get their shots in on Dumas and James. Lexi goes after Angel Fox, so does Lizzie. There's a near fall late in the match as Lexi actually hits a Lexi DDT on Angel Fox, and Lexi hits the moonsault, but socially makes it at the last minute. Things break down, and eventually Angel Fox is able to nail Desiree Dawkins with the Angel Snap, which advantages some sort of modified snap DDT, and pick up the big pinfall victory here tonight. And that means Lizzie and Lexi do not get their women's tag title shot, and this gets a 79, really good. Lexi gets a 65, Lizzie gets a 69, Desiree Dawkins a 74. Again, and remember, these are sort of pushed up a bit because we're in the Southwest where our death head is. Nikki Raffle gets a 72, and Annie Valor gets a 75, Jesus, and Angel Fox gets a 71. So, post-match, as the announcers were putting over, she got a measure of revenge, as, Mickie James takes the mic from sort of the ringside area and says, Fox, you think that was funny, that was clever, that you cost us, Captivation, a shot at the tag titles that we righteously deserve? And Angel, takes the mic and says, well, I'm not unhappy about it. Look, you struck out a fox and you expect me to bite back. That's what happened tonight. So how's it tasting? That cold dish of revenge I just gave you. And Lizzie steps in and says, Angel, don't get comfortable. Yeah, you dinged us a bit tonight, but this is far from over. And then Lexi steps and says, sooner or later, Angel, you're going to be sad and desperate because we're going to kick your ass so many times. They're going to wish you just walked away once we kicked you out of Captivation. You know, Angel's like, I should have walked away a long time ago, but not out of WCW, but out of Captivation, because you two were holding me down for me at the top of the game like I should be. I'm a former Women's World Champion, and I got held down by you two for months. I'm happy we lost at War Games, because it means, yeah, you kicked me out, but that means I didn't have to be burdened by you two anymore. Lexi says, no, I was the one carrying things. And Angel says, you ready? Fine. Next week, you and me, Lexi, one-on-one, right here in this ring. And Lexi agrees and says, fine. We're done with you. It'll be messages that you're never part of Captivation. You were always just the third wheel. And Angel fires back. Well, Lexi, when I win, it'll prove no matter how conniving, how deceitful, and how too big of bitches you two women are. At the end of the day, talent stands out. I'm going to stand out as a 21st Century Fox that I am. All right, and there we go. 71, match up for next week. Fun times. And then wow, this is really, really, really good. Okay. And then we cut backstage where Rey Mysterio Jr. is, backstage. He sees RVD with Heyman, and he walks up to them, and, Rey's like, Rob, what the hell was that last week? Look, I don't understand this deal you made with this SOB, as he points at Heyman. But, people make choices, that's fine. Why are you getting involved in my business? And Heyman steps and says, your business is his business, Ray. You see, because people still think that this man, Mr. Wednesday Night, the whole effing show, a former world champion, is not as good as you are. So we need to remind everybody just why he is the best in the world, and you were a shining star that got lucky and held that world title for only a month. Barely. Ray's like, I'm proud of my world title reign. It ended shorter than I wanted to, obviously, but I'm proud of that. So why the hell are you getting in my way? Ray says, because it's nothing personal, man. But yes, you're in my way. I'm going to beat you one way or other. And after tonight, I'm going to kick AJ's ass. I'm going to kick Shelton's ass. And yeah, I'll kick Sharp ass if we get in the way. It'll just be more recognition that I am Mr. Wednesday Night. I am the whole effing show. And Ray, this isn't your revolution. It's mine. And Ray says, we'll just have to see about that, man. And he just walks away. This gets a 98. Fun stuff. Continue to build this feud. And then we have a backstage promo from Keenan Sharp. As he says, he's just sort of like pacing in the backstage promo. He says, every week I tell everyone in the audience, everyone in the crowd, and everyone in the ring they will walk the path, but they refuse to listen. Last week, what happened to Keith Walker was a reckoning and a revelation of what happens when you do not walk the path. Keith, walk away from Wilson. Walk away from that woman who's feeding you lies. And walk the path behind me. Or else. And tonight, it's only going to be another reminder of why all should walk the path when I am standing at the end of Revolution, the winner. 76, solid heel promo, building, of course, the 4-way later tonight and the, big match. And then we have the big match between Trevor Slater and Cash. And, who was unhappy about this? Cash was very unhappy about this. So back and forth match. Cash is dominating, but Slater has a few big moves in. Eventually, Cash goes for his finisher. Slater turns it into a, sunset flip powerbomb of his own. Hits a few big moves. Sends Cash into the corner. Sort of rolls him into a Oklahoma roll. And gets the 1-2-3 victory as the crowd pops. And Cash is very pissed in the ring. This gets a 65. Trevor Slater gets a 51. Cash gets a 77. And yeah, fun stuff. And post-match, Trevor Slater, gets up to the top of the ramp. Member comes out and they do a little swear dance and then hug as Cash is very pissed off in the ring. And this gets a 50. And then we have wow, Jesus freaking Christ. I forgot Nikita Call is this good. So basically we see highlights of Nikita Call early, just dominating single division, becoming WCW World Champion. We get a voiceover that says, the moment I entered World Championship Wrestling, I was at the top of my game. I became World Women's Champion so quickly, and then I dominated the newly created tag division. So many frauleins fell at my feet, and it was proven I was the best in the world. But yet, so much. Still, people claim to be better than me. There's this guy. It's true, you're a bigger star than I am. You have more endorsements, more mewling wretches around the world put their poster up on the wall for good and ill. But you are not a better wrestler than me. I've fought and clawed my way in a business that didn't want either of us to be successful. But you became a star your way, while I fought and clawed, wrestled in front of crowds of 50 men who didn't care about me, who threw insults at me, but I got in that ring, and I proved myself worthy. And sooner or later, Trisha, I'm going to get you in that ring. I'm going to prove I have ice in my veins, and I will be WCW Women's World Champion once again. 99, good heel promo, building things up as we move forward. And then we have a fun little backstage segment as basically, AEW, catch up with the Hardys, or backstage hanging out because, they're World Tag Champions. Who knows what Teddy Long might do, as MD basically, wish them good luck and say, once you're done with the KO, reminder that we want another shot at those tag belts. Hardy's like, hey, talk to Teddy Long, talk to whoever you need to. We're glad to compete against anybody. And I'd be like, no, we deserve another tag title shot. We were this close to beating you guys, and we can do it if we get you in that ring again. And sorry about your damn luck. And Matt's like, look, man, talk to Long, talk to Piper, talk to whoever. We got an KO in a couple days, and then we can worry about you guys. So a little bit of tension as it gets a 74. Fun stuff. And then we have our big women's tag match, as it's Joni Lawler teaming up with ODB, take on Gail Kim and Allie Danger. Of course, it was set up last week, kind of, as after her match with Nikita Colt, Gail Kim attacked Joni Lawler, and then later that night, ODB and Allie Danger, had a match, but then Allie Danger attacked ODB afterwards. So here we are. So this is a fun back and forth match. It's what's the word? This is just a wild brawl. Like, it's just like things break down, and the ref sort of lets things linger, and doesn't call for the bell. As we have some saying more cane shots from both sides. We have some chair shots from both women. We get tables involved. And eventually, Lawler and Gail Kim actually brawl into the back. And that allows ODB to get distracted just long enough for Allie Danger to nail her with Seymour Kane and pick up the pinfall here on Revolution. This gets a 73, ODB gets a 63, Joni Lawler gets a 78, Allie Danger gets a 66, Gail Kim gets a 72. I did have it as a wild brawl, and as a weapons match. Let me see if that actually hurt things. Okay, lack of heat. Oh, wait, did I? Odd face heel combination. Did I not turn somebody face or somebody heel? I'll double check that when I get out of here. Anyway, 73, good stuff. And post-match, the heels celebrate to the boos of the crowd as this gets a 68. And then we go backstage where Teddy Long, has brought Kid Storm in his office. He says, "Playa, if I see you trying to ruin a pay-per-view match again, I will have no problem suspending your ass. But right now, I'm not worried about the truth. Because he told me he doesn't want you suspended. But what he doesn't want is to see you guys at a big match next week. So right here, next week on Revolution, it's going to be Billy Kidman and Lance Storm taking on Booker and Shelton Benjamin in a tag team match player. But it's not going to be a tag team match. It's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls tag match player. So 74, big tag match set up for next week. And then we cut backstage where AJ Styles is, basically cutting a promo. As he says, he basically pulls up, holds up his called shot. This reminder, I still have the golden ticket. And I still walk into a title shot whenever I want. Because I am the face that runs the place. I am the phenomenal one. I'm a step ahead of everybody else in WCW. And because I'm not leaving anything to chance. I'm making my own moments with this. But that's for later. Let's talk about tonight. Shelton Benjamin, you're a rising star, just like me. One with athletic guys in the locker room just like me. But I'm just that one step better, Shelton. Nothing personal. And Van Dam, hey, nothing personal. You got your own crap going on with Rey Mysterio Jr. But you get in my way, and you'll be hit with Styles Clash either way. Bring Paul Heyman, I'll knock him down too. Because you may call yourself Mr. Wednesday Night, but I am the face that runs this place. And Kanyon Sharp, you talk your BS, your mumble, whatever you want to spout. I don't walk behind anybody, because I am the phenomenal one. Oh yeah, Palumbo, you Goldberg Havoc, but remind yourself this. Anytime, man. Maybe I'll be there at Havoc after you're done wrestling. Maybe I won't. You'll just have to be thinking about it in the back of your head as you get ready for a world title match against Goldberg. Good luck. With a bit of a smirk, AJ's finishes as this gets a 92. Fun stuff. Then you have our Nitro recap with Bill Goldberg, which gets a 68. And you're just, Goldberg, yay. And then we have our main event, which either going to get like a 75 or like a 90. Okay, good stuff. It turns out putting a match in 2005 with AJ Styles, Shelton Benjamin, Rob Van Dam, and Kanyon Sharp, aka Corey Graves, is going to be really damn good. So, yeah, I mean, this is just like a complete, like, not quite a spot fest, but it is like the exact type of match you expect. Like, Kanyon Sharp trying to get submissions, Rob Van Dam flying around, Benjamin suplexing people, hitting his own flying spots, AJ, hitting his big moves, phenomenal forearms, split like a moonsaults, Frankensteiners, suplexes, attempts at ankle locks from Benjamin's getting broken up. Benjamin Sharp having a little, like, mid-match, sort of a mid-match sequence, on the mat wrestling sequence. There we go. Totally lost that word for a second. Van Dam stepping in, breaking it up. Styles and RVD fighting to pop from the crowd. Eventually things break down, and RVD is able to nail Benjamin with the 5-star frog splash to pick the win in a little over 15 minutes. This gets a 91, AJ gets a 93, Shelton gets a 70, RVD gets a 95, and Kanyon Sharp gets an 84. Fun stuff, and overall, the show itself gets a 93. Okay, yeah. Hey, have a couple random 98 promos, and you can have a 93 show. So, yeah. It is interesting to me that, like, I don't know. Like, obviously, like, Nitro has, like, the more, like, I don't say more solid storylines, but sort of the storylines, like, I'm, like, more super focused on. Well, Revolution is sort of, like, good matches, couple storylines, sort of like the split between Raw and SmackDown, in the same time period, which is interesting. I don't know. It's fun times. All right, so... Right, okay, so people have left. Right, okay, Revolution, hurrah. Oh, Billy Kidman thinks, hey, yay. Chris Harris thinks, hey, look, Johnny Ace. See, they like women. They don't tell that the women are too small. Sorry, that's just funny. Okay. So first, to remind everybody, here's our final lineup for the pay-per-view. So for at Halloween Havoc, our main event, Chuck Palumbo defends the world champion against Bill Goldberg. We have the tag titles as Hardy Boys defend against Ninkyo. Mike Awesome tries to win back the US title from The Truth. Then in big matches, well, okay, this is not happening. Sorry. Too bad for that. Alex Rider will take on Yushu Tajiri after Alex Rider, of course, turned on Chavo and Tajiri. Brother Ray's feud with Jeff Jarrett finally ends in a cage match. Romeo Rossi tries to take the Cruiserweight title off of Reckless Roberts. And of course, in the big war-ending War Games match, Deadpool of Morningstar, Kai Graves, Rothschild, and Killswitch will take on the Nest of Raven, Messias, the Prophet, and a mystery man who should have been revealed this week, but hey, people have drug issues. It's unfortunate. But a big pay-per-view live from Seattle, Washington. So now let's go to the rest of the world. So first, WWE. As I mentioned, they had a pay-per-view, so let's go over it. So No Mercy was an interesting show. Show matches don't really worry, but okay, so we had Ivory defeating Shaniqua in a tables match in a 65. We had Molly Holly defeat Elizabeth Love and Veronica Vane. Well, Holly's still that girl. And in 84, we had Rico Concedo, DDP, and Scott Hall defeat the It Crowd of Jerry Saggs, Val Venus, and Mark Henry. Sure. Got a 66. It was what it was. Mick Foley defeated Johnny Grunge in 81. Billy Gunn defeated CM Punk and Rikishi. Again, sure. Punk's out here getting 80s. TA defeat Outcast in a cage match to retain the tag titles in 82. I feel they have this match a lot. Then we had Taz retain the European title. We had Kane defeat Christian in a cage match. Again, sure. We had The Big Show and The Undertaker defeat Streets of the Suburbs and Benoit Angle in 99. Again, sure. Homicide in Random 99 in 2005 WWE. Okay. Batista defeats Scott Steiner in an I Quit match to retain the IC title in a 90. And Batista's actually out there getting 85, so he's ready. And then Brock Lesnar defeat Chris Jericho in 99. And then in the main event, Edge defeated Shawn Michaels to win the WF World title. So Edge is your new world champion, as Michaels' title's reign ends after winning at Mania, turning heel, forming a new DX, fun stuff. So then, if we move forward, we had Raw, which had stuff like Crash Holly defeated Maven. We had Caleb Lyon and Punk defeated Grandmaster Sexy and Sandman in a tables match. Sure. We had Vampiro defeated Charlie Haas in a 66. We had Fit Finlay, Big Show, and Crowbar defeat Rick Steiner in the APA. Again, sure. Kurt Angle defeated Ron Waterman in a squash. And the main event was Batista and Chris Jericho defeat DDP and Edge in a cage match in a 96. Which got an 85. It got a 2.898 TV rating. Which means we got a 2.68 for that show. Okay. I mean, it's about what I expected. And then on SmackDown, we had Road Warrior Animal and Street Suburbs via the It Crowd. Okay. Oh, and here's a big one. Again, sometimes the game accidentally does the booking that I set up. As Angel Oscura, who you remember debuted by attacking Jackie Gate after she won the women's title at SummerSlam, actually beats Jackie Gate for the women's title. Only 61. What can you do? Christian defeats Spike Dudley. Kane defeats Steve Bradley. Winregal kills Mario Jannetty. Shawn Michaels defeat Rikishi in round 96. And the main event, Billy Gunn and The Undertaker defeat Scott Hall and Scott Steiner in an 83. Fun stuff. So then, if we go to our DevFed, NWA Wildside, okay, they had Fright Night, which was their big show. Dagon Briggs, Kurt Stallings, and Brett Major defeat Matt Morgan, Austin Creed, and Rain Man. Again, variety of people. Asuka defeat Onyx, Rick Michaels, Tony Jones retain the World Junior Heavyweight title, and Ortiz defeat Ryan Drago to retain the W Junior Championship. And Ortiz is somebody who I might have to bring up. The problem is, he's not actually that good in the ring. And he has 0-star quality, is meh on everything. So yeah, I just have to think about that. He does have 2 NWA titles though. Akabona retained the National Heavyweight title, going over Kenzo Suzuki, Jason Cross, and John Phoenix. And Kenzo's getting pretty decent, at least over in his wise. And Jimmy Rave is still your NWA Wildside Heavyweight Champion. So then for the weekly house show, really nothing of note. Adam Ortiz won. Jimmy Rave, Tony Jones won. So they're getting there. Rainer and Matt Morgan won another match. And yeah, that's about it. Then we go to our women's DevFed. We had Becky Bayless to beat Portia Perez and Madison Eagles. We had Amazing Kong, Ariel, and Carly Chambers to beat Tracy Taylor, Madison Claire, and Miss Cool. Again, Ariel's great, but no spot for her. Miss Molly defeated Cindy Rogers in a ladder match. Emily Hosaka defeated Emi Sakura. So there we go. If we look at the HWA, they had a weekly show. Not really much of note. Chanyon Leclerc is a recent signing by the WWE and something to hear. So is Cloudy. So yeah, that's the signings they're making. And it appears to be Excalibur, a battle of current day backstage people for the 2 major feds. So that's fun. But yeah, so then if we go to OVW, Wiki Loop, not much of note. John Cena is still on pre-shows, getting 58s or 60s. Let's see here. Tommy Maluke defeated Insane Dragon in a match that sure was a spot fest. Danny Orton defeated Mitch Page and Peter Breaker in the main event. Fun stuff. And then on the Sunday show, again, John Cena is on the pre-show. He's getting 54s. It's very weird. And yeah, Danny Orton is still your OVW World Champion. Or World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, that's about it for the dev feds. And then if we look around the wrestling world, again, going back to the previous week, Let's see here. So All Japan had a big show. I mean, a big show as much as they can do. Let's see here. What's to note? Ishii got a win, and this is like 2005 Ishii, so it is what it is. Jim Steele and Johnny Smith are still your unified tag champs. Yoji Enjo defeats Jargon Kid, still your World Junior champion. Hayabusa defeating Aogi, kind of being wasted because he's in 82s. Hines and Barton are still your All Asia tag champions. Too Cold Scorpio versus Nunzio was the semi-main event, and your main event was Kaya defeating Suwama. So yeah, not even a triple count title defense. Interesting. But they're still getting 23,000 people, which is weird. Let's see here. What else did I want to show you guys? Oh, Seattle had a big show, so let's just go over that. La Sombra, who I think is like 16. Yes, you know better as Andrade. He won. Aerostar defeating Grazo Aro. Blue Panther defeated La Parka, the actor La Parka. Octagon defeated Miguel Perez Jr. I don't know why Miguel Perez Jr. is here. Atlantis defeated Mystico in a big match for Atlantis, which was a random 93. El Hijo Fantasma defeated Dr. X in an 82. But in the big matches of the night, Oscar Ray Jr. defeated Cenas to retain the World welterweight title. Outlaw defeated Tazran Boy. Negro Casas defeated Atlanta. Blue Panther defeated Octagon. And then for the Leyenda de Plata title, which I forget what that is exactly, Negro Casas defeated Blue Panther. So fun stuff there. Dr. Marcus Jr. defeated Heavy Metal to retain the World Middleweight Champion in 87. And in the main event, Shark defeated Black Warrior in a 91. And two guys with real life issues. FWA had a big show over in the UK. Nothing really of note. Like, the UK people aren't really around yet. Let's see. ROH had a big show. Remember the Ring of Violence now. Main event was Tristan Ashes defeating Amazing Red, Chino Martinez, and Mick Quackenbush. And yeah, that's about it. The kingdom that exists is Jarrell, Clark, and Hanson, so a very different kingdom. But yeah. There's No Mercy. Let's see here. Big Jimmy had a big show. Great Suzuki defeated Tenru in the main event. Guy had a big show as Jerusalem. Miami Toyota defeated Hakura Fioka in the main event. And Suzuki defeated Miami Osaka. And yeah. Acid Burn of Kato and Yumatsu defeated Chikusa Nego and Miko Sadamara. Fun stuff. Good matches. Momo Nishi defeated Nane Takahashi in a ladder match. For what? I don't know. And I think that's... Oh, and ADZ actually had a fairly big show, which was made by Ozaki and Seikiro Saito defeated Miki Takeshi and Aki. Sure. I thought there was one big other show. Nope, that's it, actually. Okay. So yeah, we've got the big pay-per-view match. Halloween Havoc coming up. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this, go and give it a like. Comment below what you're liking and not liking. And of course, subscribe to our channel for plenty of other TEW 2020 content. Mostly just series at a moment, but hey, it's getting cooler, so you might see more stuff from me. But that's all for now, so talk to you later, and adios. Have a good one.